Hi, it's Mr. G here, and today we're going to be looking at 5.2 polar cases of elasticity and constant elasticity. So these are extreme cases of elasticity. So in the last video, we looked at how to calculate your midpoint formula, figure out if something's elastic, inelastic, or unitary elastic. Well, now we're going to be looking at the extremes. What can possibly happen? So you can have a situation where you have infinite elasticity, and if you look at the graph on the right, you can just see it's a horizontal line, and this is for both demand and supply. Okay, so it's not, it would be the same for both. And what means is that the quantity changes by an infinite amount. So as price changes, the quantity changes to an infinite amount. There is no set amount, and that's because it's a perfectly horizontal line. Very hard to come up with examples of what would explain this kind of very extreme situation. But of course, this kind of thing means that your horizontal line is the most elastic that you can possibly have. Most other products are going to be, slightly horizontal, a little bit above this, not a perfectly straight line, but things that are fairly elastic. So things that are graphs that are much more horizontal means that they are more elastic. Now let's look at the next one, which is zero elasticity or perfectly inelastic. That means there's zero change to quantity. So if you look at the graph, as price goes up, quantity doesn't change. Doesn't matter if you're charging 50 cents or $2 million, the quantity will not change. So once again, it would be a very kind of specialized kind of thing that this would actually apply to, and I'd have a hard time coming up with an exact example. However, you will find lots of medications, other things like that, that are perfectly inelastic, where people are willing to pay whatever because they need the medication to survive. So that would be something that would be much more inelastic. So we have those two cases. So we have infinite elasticity or perfectly elastic, zero elasticity or perfectly inelastic. Then we have constant unitary elasticity. That is where a price change of 1% results in a 1% change in quantity. For supply, that would be a 1% increase in price would lead to a 1% increase in quantity. For demand, a 1% increase in price would result in a 1% decrease in quantity. But otherwise, it would be an equal percentage change. But for demand, you will get a curved line when you actually draw this, and supply, it will actually work out to be a straight line. I'm not going to go over the math for that. If you're interested, you can always look into that in the textbook. But essentially, that's all you really need to know in this particular case. Okay, so this is an example. Graph will be a curve, and then the supply would actually just be a straight line. And if you calculate it out, it would work that way. So that is it for 5.2. And just remember also as well, the more horizontal your graph line is, the more elastic it is. And the more vertical that your graph is, the more inelastic it is. And in the next section, we'll be talking a little bit more about basically elasticity and pricing. All right, so that's it for now. Bye.